Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger. Gonna try to do two quick videos before I get ready to go to work. Um, Something I've been meaning to talk about for a while, and I haven't gotten a chance to. I think I just have been forgetting to talk about it, but for a while now, I've felt like TNA has been making a sacrifice of sorts, and I think it's a bad one. And I want to talk about how I feel about it, and I want to get your opinions on it. And the sacrifice that I'm referring to is their tag team division. And I feel like TNA has begun to sacrifice the tag team division in order to boost up the X division. And I don't like it. Over the past several months, the machine guns got taken out due to injury, and then they talked about on TV how Sabin and Shelley were taking a break from being a team to focus on singles wrestling and then being in the X division. There's been talk of they started this thing with Inc. leading to either a heel turn or a split up, and it seems like they were just doing it to put Shannon Moore in the X division. And then they split up Generation Me to put them in the X division, and I've just hated it. I feel like TNA's once great tag team division has been gutted in order to try to boost up the X division. And I get the reasoning. You really got to do something if you're trying to boost the X division up, because the TNA roster is so very, very crowded, and bringing in new guys is just not an option. There's so little TV time to go around as it is, and guys are off TV for months at a time. Bringing in new people is just not going to solve it. So they feel, well, we'll split up some of our tag teams to get, we'll lose one tag team and get two X division wrestlers, and I just think it is a horrible move. You know, maybe look, I guess if you like the X division, you'll be more fond of it. The last time I did one of my After Immortal videos, number let's see 4, After Immortal 4 was restructuring the title scene, and when I did that video, the X division title scene did look kind of scarce when I was done with it. But I just don't find the X division to be that important. When given the choice between the two, I'd rather see the tag teams thrive than see the X division thrive. And I just feel like it's a big, big mistake that TNA is making. I feel like they're gutting their tag team division in order to save the X division. And looking at the two, I just think that the tag team division is more important. And I just want to get your opinions. What are your thoughts? Have you noticed this sort of sacrificing the tag team division in order to improve the X division? And really, I have to ask, what the fuck is so great about the damn X division? Because I never hear anybody talk about liking it. I always hear people, wrestling fans and people in the business, say that TNA should put more focus on the X division and rebuild the X division and push the X division. But I never heard people say push it because they like it, or push it because it'll draw you more tickets and ratings or get you more pay-per-view buys. All I ever hear people say is push the X division because WWE doesn't have it and it makes you stand out and look different. Well, who cares if it makes you stand out if it's not entertaining? Am I alone in hating the X division? I mean, I don't hate it. I just want it in very small amounts. I like the fact that over the past few months the X division has really been downplayed a bit. I like the fact that they don't have X division guys flipping and flopping all over the ring every episode of Impact. I like that they just save the X division matches for the pay-per-views. I think that's much better than having them on TV every week. I've heard people complain about the fact that, Max Buck won the number one contendership for the X Division title and he hasn't been on Impact. Well, do you need him? Do you really need a bunch of build up for a X Division title match? He's the number one contender, Kazarian's the champion. They're facing each other at the next pay-per-view. What, can't we just leave it at that? Show up, get his title match, and go the fuck on. Do they have to have a fucking storyline on TV every week for an X Division match? And when I realized that I just feel like there's no need for an X division, why I think it really needs to change or die. Um, I'm doing my next edition of Roster of Free Agents. You know, I talked about that video, just putting together rosters of guys using ex WWE and TNA talent and a fictional wrestling federation. And, you know, I came up with a name for a federation and make some belts and give a roster. I actually have the next one done. I'm going to do that video after I finish this one. And I realized when putting together belts and putting together a roster, I didn't have an X Division title or a light heavyweight title, nor do I really care to have one. And it's like I feel like if you started a wrestling promotion, would you have an X Division title or something like the X Division? I wouldn't. I don't get it. Let me go ahead and stop this video because at this point it's just gonna lead into me doing nonsensical rambling. But you know, I hate the fact that TNA is sacrificing their tag team division to try to build up the X Division. I'd rather see a great tag team division than an X Division. I could really do without an X Division. Leave me your thoughts. This is Shadow Ranger. Have a nice day.